What's the mysterious creature lurking on the shores of Ach-To in The Last Jedi? We've got a first look on today's Nerdist news. Are you ready to see the mysterious new creature from The Last Jedi? Warning! Spoilers lay ahead. Now, when Rey touched down on Ach-To at the end of The Force Awakens, the planet looked pretty lifeless, aside from one hermity Jedi Master. But since then, reports have been rolling in that the water world may have its fair share of indigenous creatures, and we'll get to meet a bunch of them in The Last Jedi this December. First, we heard about the planet's protectors, a race of adorable bird creatures called porgs that making Star Wars described as a cross between a puffin and a Furby. They even commissioned this piece of artwork to give you a better idea of how they'll appear in the film. Aw, it's like a March of the Ewoks. Anyways, according to a story on the site, the bizarre race of flightless buzzards are kind of like the bouncers on Ach-To. They decide who stays and who goes. And if you're wondering how something that looks so cute could stop anyone from doing anything, well, apparently the little guys also have a bit of gremlin in their DNA. That includes a row of razor-sharp teeth hidden behind those stubby bills, and they're not afraid to flash those fangs at someone who crosses the red rope without their permission. And apparently, while they consider Luke a member of the Ach-To VIP club, they're not so cool with Rey. So how does she get on the little guy's good side? Well, that brings us to the second creature featured on Ach-To, this guy. That's another artist's rendering commissioned by those philanthropic fans over at StarWarsNewsNet.com. Now, this one was based on a puppet built for the film, another alien that Rey will encounter on her island-hopping journey across the planet. According to those who've seen the actual effect, the puppet is probably about 9 feet tall, wide enough to fit a puppeteer or two inside, and kind of resembles a Cthulhu designed by Dr. Seuss. Now, we've heard rumors that Rey will be battling a sea creature in the film, but we doubt that it's this guy. This guy just looks way too chill. Rey would look pretty bad if she just straight up sabered this dude while he's working on meditative yoga poses. Instead, we're betting he's more like a Yoda crossed with a Wampa, an alien that may seem like nothing more than a monster when they first cross paths, but actually turns out to be a wise old sage, perhaps guarding some of the mysteries hidden away deep within Ach-To. It's definitely a little menacing, but not violent. And if Rey and it do end up fighting each other, it will probably be via a force battle, not lightsaber versus tooth and claw. But however they square off, could that be the test Rey has to pass in order to gain the trust of Luke's puffiny pals, the porgs? It's possible. That's a lot of peas, just popping it off, and would certainly give The Last Jedi an Empire Strikes Back feel while changing the story arc up just enough to make it its own thing. Of course, just because they're building a big, expensive puppet doesn't mean it's for sure going to be a major part of the movie. The Force Awakens had a ton of impressive practical effects that really only existed to wander by in the background and flesh out these brand new worlds. Maybe that's the case with this monster, and maybe it's just something Rey will pass briefly on her journey. He could be nothing more than a creature cameo, but even if that's the case, we think it's pretty cool. We're admitted fans of those weirder Star Wars touches, and whether this thing is a star or a day player, it's definitely going to add an extra air of weirdness to whatever scene it's in. But what do you folks think? Is this new monster going to be an important stop on Rey's road to Jedihood? Are there other monsters hiding on Ach-To that we've still yet to see? And are porgs just Ewoks with flippers? Well, let's discuss. Spring is almost over, which means it's time for an all-new summer anime guide, and luckily Dan Casey's got everything that you need to know in an all-new Dan Cave. Be sure to like and subscribe and keep checking Nerdist.com.